a good group we've got today. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. We're ready to go with another big action-packed championship wrestling program. Dave, how about it?
Boy, we got lots of folks with us here today, including our first look at a brand-new tag team. These guys been here for the first time. We're talking about the Freedom Fighters.
Oh, yeah, a couple of big fellas, too. And son of a gun, we got a lot of everybody else on here today, too. Got a six-man tag as our expiration of time main event.
Should be good.
Let's take a look and see who we've got on today's championship wrestling program. We're going to be in the ring here in just a moment with our first opening bout. But right now, we would like to welcome in a couple of brand new faces to championship wrestling, a couple of guys you're going to get to know and know well, too. We're talking about the Freedom Fighters, Jim Hellwig. Jim, glad to have you here, and Steve Borden. Steve, glad to have you guys here. This is your first time out here. We want to get a little background on you. Jim, I know you're from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
That's right. Originally, I was out in California the last year and a half doing some wrestling out there.
And how about the record for the Freedom Fighters, Steve?
God, we've only lost 2 matches, but neither one of those were really legitimate losses. We got hit over the head with chairs and tables and everything like that. You know, they got to do anything they can to beat us.
I can see that.
I don't consider them legitimate then.
Yeah, well, that's an awfully good record starting out for young fellas. I'm standing here. I have heard this, and I know the weight. Jim is 285 and Steve is 260. 22-inch arms, I understand, Jim. Is there any way I can get you guys to take these jackets off? You're going to be in the ring here in a minute. How about peeling them off for us?
I don't know.
Come on.
I guess so.
Whoa. Did I say big? That's what a 22-inch arm looks like. And here's a 20-inch arm over here. God, night, son of a gun. Hey, I'll tell you, there's no question you got the physiques for it. Let me ask you this, the important thing, because I know they'll kill me if I don't find out about it. How about, are you guys married, have families, or what?
No, we're single. We're looking forward to meeting
both single?
Yeah, we're single.
You hear that, girls? They're both single here. I want to get that around.
You hear the girls out here in Nashville are kind of nice in the Mid-South, so we're looking forward to meeting them.
You bet your life. We got some lovelies around here. You better believe it. We want to wish you guys the very best of luck. I've been looking forward. I've heard a lot about you, and we're interested in having. This is the tag team capital of the world. You're going to see some awfully tough guys. You'll see some more of those chairs and chains, too, Steve.
Well, we're ready for them this time.
Okay. You ready to hit the ring?
We're ready.
Okay, let's get them up there. The Freedom Fighters. Davey, we're ready for the first tag.
They're going to be involved in a single fall match coming up here. Referee making his appearance at ringside, and I just saw their opponent step through the curtains and did a double take. They stopped, and the Invader here shaking his head saying, wait a minute. He didn't, I don't think maybe they realized exactly the size of team that they had signed to wrestle here today. It's going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing first at a total weight of 419 pounds from parts unknown, The Invader, and from Memphis, Tennessee, David Johnson. And going against them at a total weight of 545 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Jim Hellwig, and from California, Steve Borden, the Freedom Fighters. One fall, 15-minute time limit, referee Jerry Calhoun.
Invader was climbing out, and David Johnson says, wait a minute, you start
this one, yeah.
Starting out with the 285 pounds, Jim Hellwig, and right away he flashes that muscle, Dave.
Oh, he sure does. I tell you what, this is a good-looking team stepping in here. Just, you suspect that the Invader and David Johnson got a long day ahead of them. Whoa, just shoved him back into the rope. And it didn't really look like he was pushing him that hard, but the power, he just had him rolling into the ropes. So the Invader tried to use the ropes for a little extra momentum. He just bounced off of him, fell down to the mat. There it is again, Hellwig. The Freedom Fighters just shoved him to the mat. Invader makes the tag, shaking his head as he steps out, and David Johnson steps in. David meeting the same fate as the Invader.
Jim and Steve are excellent examples of a team that it's got that physical thing going for you. That's something that a lot of guys, if you're not as tall as they are, and you don't have the frame to take the kind of bodies. Now, they work like the devil, as a matter of fact, to get those kind of bodies. But you have to have at least that to begin with. And they're young. They still got a lot to learn in wrestling. But, boy, they sure have got the physical attributes, Davey.
They do indeed. Starting with the size and the strength is a good way to start, I tell you. Look at that strength. Steve Borden and David Johnson and the Invader, neither of them have been able to do anything here. Whoa, that was just a forearm. He didn't hit him with a fist. He hit him with a forearm. Johnson bounced into the mat, heads for the corner, and says, hey, here's the tag. And the Invader says, no, thanks. Finally, he does take the tag.
Took pity on David. Took the tag. And now we'll get down to it. Let me tell you, the Invader's been around. He can move on it, so... he tangles up with Steve Borden, goes with a top wrist lock. May not be his best bet, as he's got about 5 inches in height and a whole bunch of pounds.
Yeah.
And they just get bigger. Look at the body on that, Jim.
Yeah, and he is the bigger one, and neither one of these guys are little, let me tell you.
Once again, top wrist lock doubled and off into the ropes. The Invader.
I think the Invader was just trying anything there because there's no way he's going to be able to make a top wrist lock stick. Now they're double teaming Hellwig. One of them on each side, and they still couldn't get him off his feet. Both the Freedom Fighters in there now, Steve and Jim. Steve has the Invader up on his shoulder and slams him in the center of the ring. Jim just kind of drops David Johnson out in the center of the ring. Here's cover, count is 1, 2, and it's over. I don't think the Invader and David Johnson are that upset that this one is over because they just were unable to get anything going against the powerful team of the Freedom Fighters, Jim Hellwig and Steve Borden. An impressive debut here on Championship Wrestling. You're going to be seeing more of them around the territory. Again, the winners, the Freedom Fighters. The time on it, 3 minutes, 8 seconds.
Okay.